Hi everyone, and welcome back to my new Model Barmy channel, and welcome back to the Man Cave. So, start another new project. So I've not hung around, we're cracking straight on with the next one. And this has been brought about by the arrival of this box. Now, a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, who is the owner of my Janet's Reward layout, which you may or may not have seen on my channel, he texted me with a picture, and he said, have you seen this on the Hattons website? And I hadn't. So let's have a look at what's in this mystery box. Right, so what have we got here? Let's open up, let's take a look. Interesting. Right. Okay, well this is a new scale for me. This is going back to the scale or gauge of my youth, so 00. So what is this loco? Okay, so there's a very, very good reason why the money revolver came out, and I emptied the complete chamber of notes in Hatton's direction, because this was in their sale, and it's a loco that has been split from, I think they called it their East Coast Express or something like that. It's a B17 loco, but the thing that prompted my very good friends to text me about it was the fact that what this loco was named. So let's see if I can focus. There we go. Hopefully I'm keeping it still enough. It is in fact West Ham United, which of course is another thing very close to my heart, something which I've burdened myself with since about 1976. Anyway, that's enough of that. So of course, with a new loco and no 00 track, I felt that I really needed something to run it on. So that's prompted me to think about a new layout. So what's the plan for this one? Let's take a look. Right, firstly, excuse the mess. Those of you that have seen the Man Cave before know that I don't work in a particularly ordered state. But the Man Cave's getting pretty full up. So I've got my Brooklyn Vale to Lylecolm line, which is my N-gauge home layout, already there. And I'm sort of running out of room to store layouts if they're not being used or if they're not permanent. So I've had a little rearrangement of my shelves. So I cleared this particular shelf here and thought, that would make quite a good shelf layout. So the distance that I've got here is 1200 millimeters, or 4 foot in old money, by 250 millimeters, which is 10 inches in old money, and also for our friends across the pond. So I thought, right, we could probably put a decent little shelf layout there. The other thing I thought, and I had been thinking about putting a shuttle on Lylecolm to Brooklyn Vale, so that when I'm working out here I can have trains running sort of automatically while I'm doing other things, so I can just, they'll just run backwards and forwards. But in fairness, I thought actually to try and work that in now is a bit of a faff. There's a lot of point work and all the rest of it, and I thought, wow, yeah, I put that idea to bed. So this new layout in 00 leaves me back to putting a shuttle on here, so I can really have trains running constantly while I'm out here, while the power's on, just running slowly backwards and forwards, which I thought would be quite a nice idea. So so I started thinking about a track plan, and let's have a look at what I've come up with. Right, so this is what I'm proposing. So as you'll see, this is the plan view. So I've got 3 tracks, no point work at all, so that will simplify things measurably, and it will give me the opportunity to have 3 trains effectively moving all the time. And I intend to use 3 shuttle units probably the block signalling ones, because they seem to be very popular and not expensive. I've now received my Budget Model Railways little controller box. I'm just waiting for the electronic wizardry to go inside that, and I'm proposing to run all 3 tracks off this one controller, because none of them join, so I don't see a reason why that won't work. So my plan is to have, there'll be a sort of tunnel mouth here that the 3 tracks would effectively converge to, as you can see. I know it's a bit of a cliche to use a tunnel mouth as a scenic break, but I want the trains to be as visible as much as possible, because we're only talking about a 4-foot length overall, so I can't really hide them for very long. They'll just appear briefly. I might revisit that idea, I'm not sure. So it might be that I put something in the foreground here to hide when the locos disappear up this way. But these 2 tracks in the foreground will probably be parallel, so they will kink in, so it ends up with a sort of wine glass shape for all the tracks. So the 2 tracks there will kink inwards, and this will be a coaling stage, and I plan to put the 3rd track, the one at the back in the background, that will go up an incline. So that will service the coaling stage, so I can put a small shunter which can run coal wagons up and down quite happily, and then I'll have the larger locos at the bottom with perhaps a water crane, bowser, call it what you will. So that's my proposal. Obviously, if anybody has got any ideas how I could enhance this, I'd be very happy to hear in the comments, because as I've said before in my videos, I don't know a huge amount about the prototypical operations of real railways. I just like modelling. So you know, if anybody's got any thoughts of what else I can put in here as various sort of scenery, and particularly perhaps in the foreground here, it would be very useful to hear that. I see this as being a sort of an area where they would, I don't know, obviously fill the locos with coal and water and whatever else they need to do. So once again, yeah, any ideas, gratefully received. I've got a couple of other locos. I was lucky enough to find some of the locos from my late father's railway that I built him, which is what got me into model railways in the first place, in my adult years, that is. I was recovering from an operation, and he thought, oh, I'll give him something to do, and he said, I'm going to build a model railway, I want you to build a model railway. And I said to him, well, why do you want to do that? He said, I don't know, I just fancy it. So I started doing the research and kind of got suckered in from that point. And that was, probably 10, well, no, it's going to be longer than that now. It's probably 16 years ago, thereabouts. So yeah, so that's what got me into it. So I will just grab the 2 locos. Bear with me one sec. So we've got that one. And this little fella here. So I've always liked A4s. This is Golden Plover. So these are 2 locos that Dad ran on his layout. So they will join my B17 West Ham United on this layout to run backwards and forwards. So there we go. So that's the new project. So I hope you'll join me on this journey for this one. And if you do fancy it and you don't subscribe at the moment, then please do. I'm really keen to get my subscriptions up to over 1,000, because according to my children, the number of YouTube subscriptions that I currently have are the only credibility that I've got, which is not very reassuring, but obviously they're big fans of YouTube themselves. So yeah, so keep those subs coming, all gratefully received, and join me next time for the next stage of what I shall probably just call the shelf layout. So see you guys again soon. Cheers for now.